Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarot C. I'm Jam. I'm Jam Scam. Welcome. Oh, look, tonight, I just thought it's evening here, so that's why I'm saying tonight. But wherever you are, hello. And I wanted to talk to you. I tried to do a little video today, and I thought the best thing to do, because it is it's a little bit complex, I think. I wanted to talk you through it because I have some images and it's just a little, it's like a little something that's occurred to me. And so I just want to workshop it with you. I did question whether I should do this live, but I think what will happen if I do it live is that I'll get distracted by comments. So for tonight, I'll just record and yeah, we'll see how we go. Again, these are the Oculus Anime Tarot deck and the Aurea Concealia, the Golden Advice Energy. I just love looking at them. I can't stop looking at them. All right, let's have a look. I wanted to talk to you about the little girl. Now, I'll just make this big so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the little girl. And of course, there's this running, again, everything we see is curated. So we're supposed to get something from this. I'm not exactly sure what it is. As she writes here, to all the girls in the world is yours. Do everything you can to protect your rights. Right. Actually, now that I just read that, I understood, because this is what I've just started to realize. I wanted to talk to you about the fact that there are many, many photos of this little girl, and she's always in a state of, she's more or less in pajamas the whole time. Now, I don't know if that's an issue. I'm sure many of you mothers out there probably won't think that's an issue. It may not be. I'm just surprised when I compare this energy to Charlotte. I'm looking at polar opposites in the sense that this energy is quite shabby. It's quite unkept, disorderly. Because that's what that looks like. These running in pajamas, barefoot. Okay, let me quickly jump to, I did collect some photos in Photoshop that I want to share with you. Let's start here. Unkept. There's this air of like a brush has never touched her hair. Is it natural? I mean, she's wearing socks and shoes, so that's the first time I've seen her wearing shoes. Oh, no, it's the second time, actually, because there's the 4th of July, she was wearing shoes and socks. Okay. So unkept. Okay. Yeah, see this pumpkin patch thing. The boy's dressed and has shoes. She's in a state of, no, I just don't know. I'm trying to challenge myself to not to be so harsh. I just feel this is very, there's something in excuse, because it was a very difficult to get the, it's very pixelated. So, but that's okay. We still get the picture that it's quite messy hair. Here we go again. See, it's even that this pajama that she wears. So she was running in the pajamas. This is this, similar, looks like it's a rib. Like the other outfit that she had wasn't a rib. Let me see. It was this. Let me just quickly. No, I don't want that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. See, that's a rib. That looks like the same outfit, maybe a different color, but it looks like a rib a rib top and a rib, and it's long sleeve. In this one, she's got a short sleeve. Now, I think these pants are different. This is a different outfit. But this outfit is very similar to this outfit. Now, there's something here in the hair that I'm trying to think, is this a hair? Is this a hair piece? There's something very bouffant here happening in the hair. I'm not sure. It just feels like the head is very light. I don't know. The only thing I really want to say is this outfit looks dirty and the hair looks dirty. And I mean, for a princess, I would think it's quite unusual. It's, yeah. Oh, here's the outfit. It's interesting. See this bouffant? Obviously, she's got her hair. You can't see too much. It's very blurry. But I'm just asking you to feel like something feels, there's something that doesn't feel correct. It's not even right or wrong. There's something that there's something not quite right about these photos. I feel the distortion is to hide identity. Well, obviously, yes, that's quite obvious that we're hiding identity, so we're only seeing the back. I think there's another level of it, though. I think there's another level of hiding the identity. Again, I'm not too sure. This feels like a bit older than, because let me just quickly, I'll just go through. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. She just seems a little bit, her legs, and that looks like a little bit older, looks like an older girl. But yes, let's just go through the images. This was taken, now this is even earlier because this was at Disney. And I took this because I just, we don't get to see much of her face, but I really get this. She's very Caucasian, isn't she? She's very, very pale, and this hair is very pale, which kind of surprises me. But I just get the energy. If I flick, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced, but I just have to go with it because this is what we're told. This is who she is. Now, this one, again, barefoot. Now, this is in public at Disney World, Disneyland, and this is at Club 33. So I'm just surprised. It looks like a nightie. It looks like she's wearing a nightie. From designing children's clothes myself, this would be a print that I would have done for a nightie. I've done lots of nighties and pajamas for children, and bows. And this layout, this yardage, the way this is laid out, to me is a pajama print. It's a nightie print. It looks very sleepwear to me. Also, the style of the dress is very sleepwear. The little ruffle on the sleeve, on the strap, and the length, and the fact that it doesn't have any shape. To me, it reads like nightwear. It reads like sleepwear. Now, I don't know. As I said, that's just purely from my work in years of doing children's wear. That's what I feel. Also, because I think I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it's jersey, like cotton jersey. Now, to me, it looks like a knit fabric. That's why to me it feels like sleepwear. But, I could be wrong. And the last one, oh yeah, this one. Let me just quickly blow that up. And this is really the photo, which to me, I'm just a little bit, There's a definite attempt to make it as red as possible. The pink rose, like I'll show you we should go back to the original photo, but it's actually the pink rose that is actually the focal point of the photo. But you've got this huge red hair here. So the message really is to convey DNA. It's to convey the fact that the child has strawberry blonde hair, which, okay, that's fine. I just don't know. Well, I think this is a year later anyway. This photo is a year later. But what I want to try and convey to you, well, what I feel, this is purely what Jam feels. There's something in the unkept child. Now, I didn't know this until this afternoon, and when I tried to do the video, that there is an archetype called the unprotected child. Now, the unprotected child, if we go back to this, now we're talking about the unprotected child, and I just want to, because it didn't become apparent until I had seen this unprotected child archetype, that at first this feels quite normal, this honey business. Also, remember that in my oracle, the gold card, I learnt that honey is the symbol of the sun. It's the color gold. It's liquid gold. It's the product of the sun's energy, of flowers. So it's quite interesting now seeing these videos, seeing her deal with honey. Honey is the symbol of, now, this unprotected child. See how she's walking? Like, okay, she's got boots on, but it just seems like to me, it just seems like a different child. And I would like to know, okay, she's wearing protection. Does that feel strange that the child is being taken to a beehive? Now, again, I'm very happy for you to, tell me that I'm crazy. It just feels counterintuitive to take a child to a beehive. Now, of course, yes, she's protected, but curated image, the curated image is mother and daughter heading off to the beehive. Now, they've got gloves, they've got everything, they're protected. So I don't know if I would risk it. But anyway, she's a parent. She knows what she's doing. Okay, so that was something I wanted to show you. That just came to me. Now, we've talked about that. Oh, and here's the original photo. See how the pink rose is the focal point of this photograph? We might, yeah. You will see as I post the color vibration oracles, you'll see when we come to pink, like the energy and the vibration of the pink and the pink rose. But I think pink here is pink, I'll tell you now, pink is a message of it's unconditional love. It's a very sweet and innocent kind of love. And I just feel that the pink here has to do with her strawberry blonde hair. There's a correlation of pink tone and the strawberry blonde hair. So that's that. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the Archwell Foundation's Parents Network. Is that correct? Parent, oh yeah, because it's multiple parents and it's their network. Okay, cool. The Parents Network. Let me go back, I'll just, because when I was talking to you about the archetype of the unprotected child, um, the unprotected child, I really want to say it's not unprotected. I feel it's unkept, the unkept child. Now, the energy in this archetype of the unkept child is one of the unkept child or the unprotected child. The archetype of it is a child that, so being barefoot, shabby clothes, uncombed hair, it's really communicating. Now, I want to ask you, if, you know, if money was no object, you're living quite a high life, is this the kind of image you would expect? Like when I say, Charlotte is the total opposite energy, can you imagine Zara Tyndall? Do you remember? Do you think her children would be seen like this, or Sophie's daughter would she be shown? Sarah Ferguson's two daughters, would they be in public? Would they not in public? Like, would there be photos of them like this? So I feel there is method in the madness. I think there's a reason. Now, I don't know. I'm only going to suggest to you what I think the reason is. And I think that this child, now that I see this, I think what I'm thinking is that this child is a symbol, like the symbols on her jam jar, that this child is a tool for communicating something, a message. And if we're to understand the unkept child or the unprotected child, that archetype, we start to move in towards, like when I was doing the research, when I was asking away, what happened was the Brothers Grimm came up. That this archetype is, so what happens to the children captured by the witch in the they're now, there's no direct correlate. Like the Brothers Grimm don't spend a lot of time describing the children and their appearance in those stories. Now, it's very, very interesting because yesterday I was looking at the Disney villains, Dame Gothel and Grimhilde. But we also started to go down the track because Dame Gothel is in Rapunzel, but then there's Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. Now, in Cinderella, is when you visualize Cinderella, is that the kind of energy that you think when you visualize Cinderella, a Disney princess? Because I'm starting to feel now, and only for me, this is a connection for me. I'm not saying this is what she's doing. Please don't think that I'm saying that. I'm saying that these symbols are speaking to me, and so they're leading me down a path and communicating to me. And I feel like seeing this girl with unkept hair and dirty pajamas, barefoot, is communicating an archetype in relation to, especially when you connect it with a crone. Now, a crone that tries to hide her age. The crones in these Disney, they are not comfortable with their appearance or their age, so they change it. They're not incorporating their shadow. They're the false crone. They're not integrating their true age and the processes of nature. So when we look at this little girl and her archetypal energy, and you think of the crone and the crone's archetypal energy, they exist on the same timeline. They are at polar ends of the feminine, the sacred feminine. right? We know that there are goddesses that are triple. They are the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So let's go to the maiden. And often in the tarot cards, the maiden is the page. It represents a very young life energy. So this is actually now what I'm starting to sense is that we've got a manipulated image that speaks of one end of the sacred feminine, and it's raw, it's natural, it's earth, it's in connection with earth, like bare feet, always on the earth, running on grass, in touch with nature, in the pumpkin patch, unkept hair, natural state, au natural. Do you see now where possibly these photos, why you're shown these photos, and maybe what you're supposed to. Now, I don't think you were meant to actually go that deep. I'm telling you, this is what I feel. This is what the image communicates to me personally. I'm not saying that they are Disney princesses. I'm not saying that Disney has influenced them. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. I'm saying that by seeing this image, by starting to understand some of the magical things in their life that are so magical, it's interesting that I'm seeing the archetype of the unprotected or the unkept child. Now, remember, the archetype is the unprotected child, but I'm calling it the unkept because it's very similar. It's about, what happens is that in relation to the crone, we've talked about the fact that the crone captures these children, and the crone keeps them locked up, in her possession. Now, that's also because as the flower in Rapunzel, as the golden flower gave her energy, the crone is using or feeding off the energy. But in this situation, I want you to stop thinking about it in terms of feeding in a physical. We're feeding off marketing. We're feeding off marketing. This, I believe, to me, reads as a symbolic tool. And the symbolic tool is about, I suppose the question would be, if this child could speak, right? Like this, in terms of symbolism, the symbolic sentence that maybe this child, the unkept child, would say would be, Jamsters, when you saw me in this state, at what point were you concerned for my well-being? You saw me in this state, but you did nothing to help me. That's kind of the energy of the unkept child. Now, what happens is, this is where now we make it. Now I want you to think of it. If you think of it like that, and voila, the Archwell Foundation Parents Network. Now, what does this network set out to do? It sets out to help the unprotected child, the archetype. It's a network like an in between parents and the unprotected children that suffered. Do you see, do you understand why I felt this? That there's a layer of communication that I didn't notice before until I recognized the archetype of the of the unkept child and how it relates to this crone. Now, the interesting thing is, like, if I is this a photo? This one. So, what happens in this, like in these stories, or what happens is that the crone. Now, I said to you before, like, I don't want you to think that the crone is evil. It's actually the false crone. It's actually the villain of the story. Like, but the crone itself, the natural process of life, going from maiden to mother to crone, is natural. It's part of life. It's part of life cycles, like the cycles of the moon. We have the waning, we have the full moon, the waning crescent, etc., and then we end up with we have the gibbous. So the crone is natural and a beautiful part of life. What we have, though, is a crone. And remember, the crone couldn't have children, they're barren. And so, because of this, it's like a major overcompensation, that it's actually the crone who then comes to the aid of the unprotected child. And we see now these images, these interviews, I'm seeing them in a totally different light. The fact also that she wears a nail necklace is very interesting. It's just an interesting little detail, very interesting little detail. And I want to draw your attention to the color that she's wearing. The color that she's wearing. I should have done my homework and pulled that card up for you, but it's beige. It's stone, it's ecru, it's unbleached, it's au natural. So there are connections between the unkept child, in a sense, and the crone's message of protecting. It's like it gives you a false sense of, are you feeling uncomfortable that this person who keeps an unkept child is also promoting protections? But what they're actually doing is changing. I think the symbolism moves beyond that to actually changing legislations, to change social media. But is it, so this is the thing, is it really to protect the child, or is it to protect, because we have to talk about, I'm going to, I need to, sorry, let me go back. I'm really sorry to do this, but I need to find the photo. Oh, come on, Jam. Where was it? I always have trouble finding the image. Is it? It might be here. The shadows. We will come to it in a second, I'm sure. It's these pictures, these images are so layered now that I look at them. The image I'm trying to find is the one with the lake. This one. Great. Now, can I zoom in? Oh, damn it. It won't. Okay. Right. Because we were talking about the network. We were talking about this image and the color that she's wearing. She's got the nail, right? So we're talking about protections and changing legislations, protecting children on social media, protecting children's safety as well. Think about the image of that child, the unkept child. Now, the crone when we go back to this image, the crone, it's very interesting that at the moment in this photo, she's standing on rock with a reflective surface. And in her hand, she's holding eucalyptus. The eucalyptus, it's called silver dollar. The silver dollar is about reflection. It's about healing. It's about healing hurts, right? It's healing. Now it could be it's the healing hurts of, but it's the healing hurts of the past. And this is very powerful when you put you're holding a eucalyptus, which the Aboriginal hold very sacred in their smoke ceremonies. And the silver dollar eucalyptus is a particular eucalyptus related to the healing of the soul. And green, the color green, is actually related to the heart chakra, and it's a healing color. But when you have these symbols of healing, next to a reflected surface, reflecting intentions, reflection, healing, I have a major sense that when we looked at this parents network, I want you to understand that sometimes, and people, I have no idea. I know very, very little about things like narcissism, but I do think that this person can't help but making everything about herself. When you see, do you understand what I'm saying? This is promoting her. And what we haven't realized in the levels of nuance is this parents network was really about her. If you go, that's my opinion, it's only my opinion. I have a sense this parents network is about her. It's about, we'll come to this. I think this is the unlocking. Like if Hecate gave me a key, it's the unlocking. I think this is what we need to look at. So this image is related to, it's not related to this. This image is about her own healing and her. So who was the unprotected? Who was the unkept child? Who was the original neglected child? Why did we do a parents network? Why are we using symbols to lock in? And the other one that I need to, sorry, it's just bear with me. I want to go to I want to go to search, as ever, and I want to go to this offering of shadows, this shadow work, this nail, and this this healing and this are very, very similar. Slightly different messages, but very similar energy. So I want to propose that possibly the way that I'm thinking about this is that we see she's created a symbol. She's created a living symbol of the unprotected, unkept, neglected child, but only I'm not saying she physically is, she looks like it. She's communicating it. It's a curated image, curated for you to feel something, to look at it and to understand. But Whatever she does, she's communicating about herself. When I said to you, there's something wrong with this hair and it's a question of identity, that's right. We will never see her face because we're not supposed to, because we're supposed to see her. Sorry. We're supposed to see her. Damn. I want to go here. We're supposed to see her reflection in that child. It's her reflected identity. And the healing involved is this, that somewhere, at some point, maybe when she was 11, when she was hitting 11, something happened which led her to feel neglect. Now, I'm not saying she was neglected. I know a lot of people are going to jump. Do not jump, because this has to do with emotions. It's how she felt. It was her reality. It may not have actually happened, but she felt like it did. It was her reality. She felt like it was. And that's why this reads to me about emotional healing. I've done a little short. Search for it in my list of videos, in my library, in my what are they called? Playlists. Playlists. Look at it in the playlist. And I think once you understand the symbolism of eucalyptus and the silver dollar, and I have to thank, there's people like Silver Moon and Just a Jen, absolute gems themselves, crystal clear. So thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, but it's very interesting. So I think, what do you think? Shall we? I should finish soon, but let's ask the Aura Concilia, the golden advice. And I should have, we'll just do a quick shuffle. And I would like to know, well, I feel it's healing. I feel like really Lily is just a projection of this is the great mother. Can you see the goose pimples? Oh, I just got the biggest shiver. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite cards. The Great Mother, the Moon. And we're looking at this card, the waters, the moon reflecting on the surface next to an image of her next to reflected water. The source of nurture. What's in question? Her upbringing, her nurture. She felt unnurtured. She felt there was I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because this card's about protection, nurture and protection, intuition, instinct. I think my instinct is correct. Well, this is what the card is suggesting. It's a card of nurture, of mother. I have a feeling that the neglect, maybe it's a very harsh word. I think it's like abandonment more than neglect. I want to say that. I feel she lost out on mother. She lost out on mothering, and she was forced to have, she was forced with father, which we know is not a great relationship at the moment. Like, it seems pretty toxic to me from what I see, from what they've published in public. But if we're talking about an abandonment and like a loss of the mother, a loss of mother energy, this is so powerful. I think if you could, oh my goodness, my arms, I'm so excited. The fact that this card is about the reflection on the water, and we're looking at that photo. That card fell out while we were looking at this photo. But I just wanted to, we will finish now, but like I just wanted to say, that's why. Is this the reason, the real reason, the motivation, let's say? There might be other reasons for doing the Archwell, Arch as in Arche, the solar, Archwell Foundation Parents Network. It's driven by her experience. It's very close to home. It's very close to home. So I'm going to leave it there, people, and we'll just finish off with again. So we don't know what we're looking at. I've said that to you last night when we looked at footprints. We don't know what, I think this is why the blue card, remember the throat chakra, I had to stop. I think I needed today to sort of refocus, reframe what we're looking at. So if this is her child or not, I don't know. But the identity that we're supposed to actually, on a much, much deeper level, is the identity of this child is in question. It's actually the crone herself. It's the crone's attempt to to communicate to you about her. I think I would have to talk. I would have to get in touch with H.G. Tudor to sort of ask him, because he knows so much about narcissism, that it just feels to me that this would be a classic narcissistic act, to project, to use your child to project. And I just saw Joan Crawford. But I'm not fearful. I don't think this child is truly unprotected. I actually don't. I feel there's something. It feels staged. So this child, I don't know where she lives. I don't know who she is or whatever. This was the revelation. This was the sense of the enlightened message that I received today, that the crone and the unprotected child, or the unkept child, are connected. My friends, I have to leave it there for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel like I have a little bit of a weight lifted off my shoulders, but I would be very interested to know your opinions. Please let me know, and we'll workshop this a little bit more on our Sunday live catch up. Thank you. Bye.